I don't want to spend my time in hell looking at the walls of a prison cell. I don't ever want to play the part of a statistic on a government chart. There has to be an invisible sun. It gives its heat to everyone. There has to be an invisible sun that gives us hope when the whole day's done. Namaste, namaskaram. That was an excerpt from a song called The Invisible Sun by the Police. And I just want to communicate how important it is, how important your health is, and also to kind of don't be stressing yourself out, trying to over intellectualize things, trying to maybe feel like that there's all these deep esoteric truth that you have to realize in order to be happy, to be healthy. And simply, to quote, roughly paraphrase Henry David Thoreau, learn how to be a good animal, meaning to be a human and to be happy as a human, if you're not compromised by the artificial intelligence hive mind matrix and you're a soulless NPC, you've already given yourself over to the machine. But if you're a human and you're seeking, and maybe you're not comfortable right now perhaps with your circumstances, I can tell you this, that the most simple thing, without having to worry about getting it all right in your head, is to simply be a good animal. Meaning there's a lot of contentment, happiness, and joy that simply will arise from just being healthy, just having a lifestyle that promotes healthiness. And it's simple, without going into too many details. I can just tell you that to take care of yourself, you're divine. There's a lot to be said for diet. I've made videos where I talk about, August 11th of 2021 is where I recognized in that Lionsgate portal where I had a download and where my life began to change. Part of that change was almost overnight becoming a vegetarian. And, and I love barbecue. I love Texas barbecue, all that. And it was a natural evolution that went along with what internally had been reconfigured within my divine human matrix. So paying attention to your diet, hydrating, and really just not over intellectualizing things, just kind of just making some changes, some small steps if need be in your life. And the most important thing I can tell you, and this also was something that naturally came about with what I call my awakening on August 11th of 2021, somehow intuitively, and I would imagine it was part of this download package of information that I had received, was I began to sun gaze. And, without ever understanding or knowing or hearing anything about it. I just somehow intuitively knew, and I don't want to say I, but it was God. It was the light switch, the source of fractal that came online, if you will. And I began to, in brief increments at first, stare into the sun. We've been lied to about the healing benefits, the therapeutic benefits of sunlight. We've been brainwashed and trained by the digital hive mind advertising agency that is all connected to the pharmaceutical health industry that really is in the business of keeping people at dis-ease, with dis-ease. So, all this stuff about sunblock, and you got to protect your eyes from the sun because you're going to hurt your eyes. And that being said, there is a process, and there are, there are rational, logical, cautious, things to observe when you're doing sun gazing, but it is God. That is, I'm not trying to advocate for worshiping the sun, but I don't want to, scare anybody off, like, well, what have you. But that is actually that beautiful, huge planetary, or not planetary, but heavenly presence is God. What it provides, what it does, but it is the source, the bit of source, and it's spread throughout all the multiverse. And you connect when you look into the sun, you're connecting to God, believe it or not. I want to share, this is information here, a document. It's NASA confirms superhuman abilities gained through sun gazing. I also have superhuman abilities that I gained from drinking Folgers coffee. Instant and adequately heated and in moderation. But that's the thing with sun gazing. The optimal times are in the morning, the golden hour, so to speak, and the sunset in the evening. Those are great times to get out. But here's a document, and I think you could find this online as well. But if you just NASA confirms superhuman abilities gained through sun gazing, and this document apparently with NASA, they had a very detailed study, laboratory, controlled study where they took somebody for 100 days. It's in the document, but I want to read this first part. It says, do not engage in sun gazing practices without proper training and medical supervision. Permanent eye injury and blindness may occur. Anyway, I'll stare at in the noonday sun and the midday sun with mighty Sekhmet shielding me if there's any, but there's nothing harmful from it. You just have to build up to it. But anyway, do not attempt to change your diet and live on sunlight. There are plenty of people who do so, or water alone. Before attempting any radical spiritual dietary practice, seek qualified medical advice and spiritual supervision. Ever wanted to be in more than one place at a time? That's right. I'm talking about the superhuman abilities that can be gained by those who follow the protocol for what's known as sun gazing. A valid practice recently confirmed by NASA. Many proponents of this ancient technique, used by many cultures such as Mayan, Egyptian, Aztec, Tibetan, and Indian yoga, report not only healing benefits to common illnesses, but attaining superhuman abilities such as advanced telepathy and going completely without the need for food. Just the need for Folgers coffee. Anywho, but yeah, it's important, our mental hygiene. Also, but it's not really, just take care of yourself. Get out of stressful situations, reclaim your power. And just kind of realize that this is not complicated, because God, what have you call it, source, that's what we are. We've just been kind of purposefully misled as to that fact, that there is that sun, that magnificent sun is inside of us. I don't, if it's the soul or whatever, but it's alive in us. That's what we are. This physical genetic vehicle, this meat puppet human suit that we wear, is not who we are. It's not. There is source, God, alive within it. And when you kind of get into the habit of putting your smartphones down, just kind of gradually decoupling, unplugging from this constant barrage of electronic signals around us, engage in meditation, things that are good for your human suit, take care of it. And I'm telling you, it is the highest desire, highly desired. This container, the Greys, a lot of the Sikaar Empire, the Draconians, but in particular the Greys, they wish they could be us, and they can't, so they're doing everything they can to destroy us. But this is a greatly designed apparatus. This divinely designed genetic vehicle is great. Just take care of it. It's not difficult to feel centered. And the God, the source, the divine spark, the fractal of the infinite prime creator, that part of the divine grid programmer's code that is within us, it is real. And you can gradually shift your awareness from your ego, from everything that sometimes people get anxious about, whatever, but you can still that chatter, that monkey mind chatter, and it's what leads you to connect back to who you truly are, which is a fractal of source. A spirit in a human suit having a human experience for benefits of lessons and such. So, it's not important to understand all the esoteric meanings of the revelations to St. John or all that. What's important is to value yourself and to take care of yourself, and don't be afraid of the sun. The sun is alive, and it is, and I'm telling you, to put it another way, the sun, that magnificent heavenly God source that's right there in that sky, is alive. And it's also, there's a part of it alive inside of us. And when you connect that to that, you connect back to infinite intelligence, to intelligent infinity, to everything. And so take care of yourself. You're divine, and you matter, and you're your container, your genetic vehicle is a greatly designed model, and take care of it, really. That's all I got this morning.
Namaste. Namaskaram.